All right, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. And as always, it is indeed a pleasure to be back on the show. I want to thank Amari, Michael, the Star, Estrada, because I keep messing up her name, but it really means star. And then I want to thank all of the young folks from the Youth Council. We got some guests out there. We see Camille. Y'all know her as Representative Camille, and she's the Vice President of External Affairs and Marketing at Loretta Hospital. And she's here with her CEO and President of Loretta Hospital, none other than, for some I introduce, to others I present, and I'll do that shortly, Mr. George Miller, the new CEO and President of the Loretta Hospital. You have to say it like that, the Loretta Hospital. They had to check me outside. They're not the Loretta Hospital. So I'm having fun as well, and I'm really excited about what's going on at the Loretta Hospital. But before we get started, I just want you to know, we at Fathers Who Care really believe that any man that's physically capable can be a daddy, but it takes a real man to be a father. We're talking about one who's committed to his children, one who's committed to others' children, and to the community. And those of us who love what we do know that it takes all of us to make a difference in the lives of these young people. And we know that these young people can't be what they can't see. And so in order for these young people to be the best that they can be, we have to show them the possibilities in life. And so I'm really excited about all of the opportunities that we are able to provide these young people on the west side of Chicago, but specifically at Fathers Who Care and the West Side Community Stakeholders and the West Garfield Park Youth Council. Those are the young folks who are producing the show today, and those young folks rock. All right, they really rock, and they are faithful. And I want to just thank them again. I want to thank all of you who have been tuning in with us tonight. We want to really talk about, I want to thank Juanita, I want to thank Gloria, I want to thank Kiara, all of you all tuning in. This is the new CEO and President. So let's have some conversations tonight about what is the state of healthcare on the west side of Chicago. I mean, healthcare, we're talking about healthcare. Now, there's things going on, Doc. And, there's some folks talking about slipping stuff in the mandate inside of the bill, the tax bill, which I want to know what that means if we get a chance. Yes. Then I want to also know about what they're trying to do, snatching stuff out with the wall and all that foolishness. But I really want to know about healthcare because, some folks, appreciate healthcare. And some folks don't appreciate health care. And you made some comments today about some things that we was talking about 20 miles away from each other, from the Gold Coast to the west side, 20 miles. And then there's a life expectancy of 20 years difference from folks living on the Gold Coast to folks living on the west side. So with that being said, let's get on down to it though. Listen, our guest this evening, as I alluded to earlier, none other than Mr. George Miller. Mr. Miller is the new President and CEO. Thank you, Jesus. I say that because I love the spirit. All right, I love the spirit, and I'm not taunting anyone. I'm just keeping it 100. I love the spirit that I caught the spirit. Great. All right, of the Loretta Hospital. I can see the laughter in all the folks over there. Anyway, Mr. Miller is a father, community leader. He's a healthcare professional. He has been in the business of healthcare for 30 plus years. Mr. Miller is an expert health care strategist, which I'd like to know more about that. An advocate for health care. You've been working feverishly on the quality of health care. Oh, you said some stuff today, and you was keeping it so real. And when you was talking about the lower back pains, I be having a lower back pain all the time. And they keep me over there at an MRI place, and they keep me over there at a pain center, and they keep me over there taking medication, and I don't get rid of the pain until I exercise.
There you go.
Right?
That's exactly right.
Until I just exercise and move that joker around. Right. And I don't take no more pills.
Right.
I don't take no more MRIs.
Right.
Thank you, Lord. And I don't get no more injections.
Right.
So I liked what you were saying about it. But then you was also honest about some stuff. When you was rather transparent today among the ministers when you held with your staff, your team, when you held the clergy breakfast at Loretta Hospital. I wouldn't have missed that for the world because I knew that some of our brothers was all going to come together, and we do make a difference. God is real,
yes,
right? And He's real on the west side.
Right.
But anyway, you also have this prominence about you in that wherever you go, it's rather infectious. You know, you just like laughter. You like, and you got a peculiar kind of laugh.
Yes,
too, by
I
the way.
do.
And folks enjoy that.
Yes.
Because it's genuine.
Thank you.
But everywhere I've been noticing, wherever you go, you always kind of give off an impression with folks. And so let's do this. Let's get into the show.
Sure.
Anyway, you are a father, right?
Yes, 3 beautiful children.
3 beautiful children, and you are the new president and CEO of the Loretta Hospital. You've a healthcare strategist all over the country. You've met some of the greats. You've done some of the work, but we need to know exactly who are you. You're new to the West Side,
Correct.
so you had to get vetted. All right. So I'm the veteran. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna vet you today. So I've heard some good things about you. I've been around you, and I've seen you at a couple of events, which I have. This is good. Trust me, it's real good. You ain't been there that long for these many events you've done. All right, that's like batting 1,000.
Thank you.
All right, you was over at one of my brother's church, Friendship.
Right.
Beautiful event again, along with of course Camille. So let's ask this question before we get into this healthcare stuff and talking about the state of healthcare and talking about is healthcare important, affordable, and is people really taking advantage of it. Let's have some conversation tonight. But tell us, who is this Mr. George Miller? George Miller. We know. We know. We saw the signs.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You're the president.
Yes, sir.
You're the CEO.
Right.
And you're from Texas.
Right.
I kind of like Texas.
Yeah.
Actually used to live in Texas.
Yeah.
In Houston. All right?
Right.
Yeah.
I moved here from Austin.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Texas.
capital.
Okay, gotcha. But who is George Miller?
Well, I appreciate you having me on the show.
It's our
And
pleasure.
thank you for inviting me. I am a person who's very passionate about healthcare. My mother was a nurse, and I started out as a banker, quite frankly, and I got into healthcare.
A banker?
A banker.
Okay.
I was president of a bank in Newport News, Virginia. I was very fortunate. I became the president of the bank at age 26. I was very young. Black Enterprise recognized me as one of the outstanding young men under 30 in America at that time.
Okay.
Went to the White House, met President Carter, Jimmy Carter, and won a nice award. Well, the local hospital in my community wanted to build a brand new hospital.
Right.
And they came to me, and fortunately, I just come back from a mortgage banking seminar to explain how healthcare financing will be done in America. It's called the FHA 242 program. Long story, I got the little hospital financing for them to build a brand new hospital because they were in an old building that had been built in 1913. So they were very pleased that I got the financing for them. And after I got the financing, they did a dinner. I have a plaque in my office to recognize that event. They called me up and offered me the job to be the assistant administrator. Now, Rev, sometimes ego gets in the way of common sense.
Right.
I'm president of the bank, and they wanted me to be the assistant administrator. I didn't know what the administrator did, and I certainly didn't want to be his assistant.
Okay.
Then they told me how much they're going to pay me. That was Friday.
So
I went to work
that was your introduction.
to healthcare.
To healthcare.
I went to work there.
But tell us the other side of you, not the business.
Yeah.
I know that business.
Yeah,
I heard your business. I want to hear a lot about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I want to give you ample time. But tell me something about your father.
Yes, have 3 beautiful children. as I said.
And you love that.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I get to help see them grow and become mature and responsible adults. My oldest daughter is 25 years old, graduated from Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio. She's working there now. My middle daughter is a junior at the University of Dayton. She wants to be a physical therapist. In fact, she came and visited me and volunteered in the hospital for a week,
Okay.
2 weeks ago. She plays softball for the University of Dayton, plays left field. My son, my youngest child, my son, George the third, but he goes by Trey. He's at the University of Pittsburgh, Titusville, and the starting point guard on the team. And he's 5'1" and can dunk.
Right. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I can show you on the video. I know we can't do it now,
Okay.
but
so,
I can show that to you.
so you enjoy being a father.
Yes, I'm very proud.
Yeah.
Once a month I go back to Ohio to see Grace or Trey in Pittsburgh play
Okay.
basketball. Yeah, I really enjoy it. And they call me every other day. All 3 of the children, I'm very fortunate about that. Tell me what they're doing, what they need. And the girls always ask for money, but I'm very
Of
pleased.
course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
Very
But
pleased to be able to do it.
fathers play a serious role in the lives of their children,
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that they are very healthy and are pursuing a career, but they do ask me for advice from time to time.
Okay.
They I followed my career the entire time. We've been to moved around quite a few times. I've been in 5 states and runs 8 different hospitals.
Okay.
But the most important thing I do is
5 states, 8 hospitals.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 states, 8 hospitals. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really enjoy this.
I really do enjoy health.
So you consider yourself a healthcare, an expert healthcare strategist. Is that true?
I think that would be correct.
What is that?
Well, healthcare strategists can go into a community like Austin.
Okay.
Look at the
Which is where Loretta is?
yes.
Okay.
Here in Chicago.
Okay.
Look at the demographic information. What the people, their medical history, their longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the data and then develop a plan to improve. So you mentioned a little earlier about the spirit at the Loretta Hospital.
Right.
And that's what we developed a plan called Catch the Spirit.
Right.
Our goal was,
I like that.
thank you. Our goal was to turn the Loretta Hospital around, and we changed the name from Loretta Hospital to the, because we want to be this shining example of how a community can become healthier and not just get health care. We do health care, but our goal is to make people healthier and live longer. You mentioned what I quoted earlier today about the difference in life expectancy.
Right.
On the Gold Coast in Chicago, folks live 25 years longer on a 20-minute ride from the Gold Coast to Lawndale, to Austin, and the communities on the west side.
And why is that?
Because there are healthcare inequities in this country. We don't get the same
So you're talking
healthcare.
about basic access.
It's access, but even in excess.
Same insurance, but less service.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that access means we get denied access
Okay.
even with the same insurance.
Okay.
We don't have exposure to those things that will make a difference. For example, African American men will go to the hospital ER with complaints of chest pain.
Right.
They will not get a heart catheterization, a angioplasty, or open heart surgery. 2 times less than white men.
Well, let me ask this. Because, I mean, we're talking to, now this is serious now. We're talking to an expert healthcare strategist / professional, right? So this is real serious with you, this
Absolutely.
healthcare thing.
Absolutely.
Now, so we really want to talk about, I want to hopefully get a chance to use this show to encourage people of color, particularly African Americans, to take care of themselves.
Yes.
And avail themselves to the health care. I mean, if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, you need to be healthy, period.
Correct.
Now, you're the president and CEO of the Loretta. You changed the name to change the image,
Right.
to catch the spirit.
Right.
So as opposed to it being Loretta Hospital with the history, which is over, there's the Loretta Hospital, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so with that being said, we're asking the question, why are we changing the spirit?
Because our goal is to improve our community. Again, through the study of the demographic information, we can help our community become healthy. They're our family, they're our neighbors, they're our friends, and we want the lifestyle of the community to improve. We can move the needle on the health of the community, and that's why we are invested in the community. We are a large employer. We're the largest employer in Austin.
And you're not for profit.
And we're not-for-profit entity.
Wow.
We're a safety net hospital, not-for-profit. Single source hospital. We don't belong to any other system. We're by ourselves. We're standalone.
Okay.
So we're your community hospital in Austin. And the reason why the not-for-profit status means that we turn our money back into programs and services for the community.
And we
investor.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know, we have 5 new services, Rev, that we're bringing to
Like, what are they?
the Loretta Hospital. One is an open MRI
Okay.
that allows people to get look inside their body without using X-ray.
Mm-hmm.
And an open MRI keeps people who are claustrophobic, that don't want to go in that tube, they're not claustrophobic anymore by getting those services.
Yeah.
We're adding a PET scan. A PET scan be able to look inside the body and keeps a physician from doing exploratory surgery to find cancer. It's a great
You
technology.
said something about this new thing that you was doing, the arteries?
Yes.
Is that what you referenced?
No. That's,
Would you please, though, when you get a minute?
Sure.
Go ahead.
What you're talking about, that they're testing right now, cardiovascular disease, the #1 killer of Americans, all over the United States.
Right.
But in Denver, Colorado, there is a company that is testing on human beings right now, microorganisms that go inside the body and eat plaque, and that would eliminate the need for angioplasty, for catheterizations and open heart surgery.
Okay.
Not on the market yet, but they're looking at that, and so that would extend life. But back to our other services, the PET scan help diagnose cancer without surgery. It's able to look at a tumor three-dimensionally, and so the surgeon can determine where it is, if it's operable or if it's not, which is great technology. We're also adding a 16-unit dialysis center. Unfortunately, in America, 40%...
All of this is at the
Yes,
Loretta Hospital.
the Loretta Hospital.
The new. Okay.
These are all
Wow.
new. And the reason we're doing dialysis is because 40% of all people on dialysis are African Americans. We only make up 13.2% of the U.S. population, but 40% of those who need dialysis are African Americans. Yet we only get 2% of all the kidney transplants in America. Mickey Mantle got 2 kidneys. So that's healthcare disparity, and that's why we wanted to put.
And that's what you was talking about initially.
That's exactly correct.
But go ahead. Okay. So let's get back to this here. So
Sure.
we was talking about specifically Loretta Hospital, and I want to talk in and out on some different topics. I know that there's programs at Loretta Hospital for men, correct?
Yes.
There's programs particularly like the James Montgomery.
Yeah, Jim Montgomery Health Center.
Right. PSAs and things of that
Yes,
nature.
that's correct.
And of course there's you have a behavioral health department.
Absolutely.
Now with the behavioral health, why are folks afraid to address mental illness and those concerns?
It's amazing that they do. They treat it as if it's different. But any behavioral health is the same thing as physical health disease. It's a disease. And mental health problems are diseases, and we treat them, and we want to cure them. We have an addiction center. We've been in the community for 40 years with the addiction center. Opioid is a scourge.
I want to talk about that. That's where I want to go.
Okay.
And I was trying to segue from the behavior to the mental ill.
Right.
And some folks try to escape.
Yeah.
Now, some folks do need medication, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, the phone lines are open. We're talking to none other than George Miller, the CEO and president of the new Loretta Hospital. The number here, of course, is 312-738-1060, 312-738-1060. What I'd like to do, Mr. Miller, is I'd like to take a call, and then when we get to the call, I'd like to come back and I want to talk to you specifically about the opium.
I'll be glad to.
And what is it?
Yes.
And what can we do to save our children and save our community? Let's get the caller. Caller, you on there to comment a question, please, with Mr. Miller, the new president and CEO from Loretta Hospital. I want to thank all of you on Facebook. Benny, I see you. Dan Montgomery, I see all of you beautiful people. And this is the new CEO. Ben is the guy that used to do a lot of work with us over at Loretta Hospital when we was doing the men empowerment.
Oh, right.
The men empowerment. We was doing the PSAs. That's my running buddy there. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, I wanted to know what are the activities or services that Loretta provide for young people?
Okay. Are there services and activities for young people at Loretta?
Yes, there are. One of the things that we're going to be doing this summer is having a volunteer program where young people can come in and learn about the different jobs we have at the Loretta Hospital. We have over 600 jobs. Healthcare is a great business to go into, and for the reason that us baby boomers, we are turning 65 each day, 7,000 for the next 30 years, and we're going to need healthcare.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be a strong field to go into as far as employment for the future. One of the things that we like to do also, our state representative Camille Lilly works with the community.
She out there?
And she's
There she
out
go.
there.
Yeah.
And
She's
she
in our
has-
audience?
Yeah, she has great programs to work with the youth in our community. We do provide health care as well, a full gamut of healthcare services in our facility that will take care of the youth as well.
I think that program that Camille is doing with the young people, I mean, for many years, young folks didn't have any opportunities.
Yes.
And the only way they would have an opportunity is through the program when we used to kind of get these young folks, and they would be like working for agencies and businesses in the community, and the Loretta Hospital through the rep's office, through external affairs and marketing, would actually give
Yes.
these young folks stipends, $10 an hour.
Right, right.
And we miss those services. Do
Right.
you hear us, Rep? We miss those services.
Well, she still has some now. I've
Yeah.
got a couple of young people who go to school here locally. Who
Absolutely.
Come over and volunteer at the
Absolutely.
hospital.
But it used to be on a massive scale.
Oh, is
All
that right?
Oh, yeah, man. It wasn't nothing to have 15 young people in your agency
Okay.
and getting paid. Come on, caller, you on air. Come on, we're talking to the new CEO and president of Loretto Hospital, Mr. Miller, George Miller. What's your comment or question, please?
Hi, I have two questions. Do Loretta offer mentoring programs for the youth and or their parents that are interested in the health care field?
Okay, I like that. You was talking just about that.
Yes, we do. Again, through Camille Lilly, we do offer opportunities for young people to come and look and see what services and programs that we have that they could be interested to make a career. We have over 600 different job categories in the healthcare organization. It's a great field to go into, and I strongly encourage you to contact Camille Lilly at our office
What's
for
the number over there?
opportunities. The main number to the Loretta Hospital is 773-854-5000. That'll get you to my office. And she has done an outstanding job working with the community.
Now, you said that you referenced that on the caller was inquiring about also mentoring program for folks who wanted to go into the field of healthcare.
Yes.
And you was alluding to something of that earlier. If people are interested, I mean, if we want folks to be in the field, we need to mentor them in the field. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure.
So, are they providing any type of services at Loretto Hospital for grown-ups who may want to go into the field but not have a degree?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
For grown-ups to do that, we do want to work with the young
Young
people.
folks, okay.
Yeah, to get them.
So there you have it.
But now we do work with some of the colleges and universities where they, what they call shadow, come through our organization and get training. We do that with MLK
Okay.
University for
Okay.
nurses and physical therapists and occupational therapists and other therapists in the community.
Okay, so you was going to tell, what is opioid?
Opioid is prescription medicines.
It's a prescription medicine.
Yeah, it's-
Like what?
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Is that the stuff that Prince died of?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
That's the same drug.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's also any pain medicine to try to dull the pain in the body. Prescription medicine like
So-
Tylenol 3.
Tylenol 3.
Yeah, it's a controlled substance. You need a physician prescription for it. But unfortunately, those can be very addictive.
Okay.
So you've got to be careful.
Like Vicodin?
Vicodin is another
Okay.
example. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oxycontin?
Oxycontin.
Yeah.
Those are opioids.
Okay.
And what happens, you get addicted to them, you can't get anymore, then unfortunately people may turn to cheaper forms of drugs that are not prescription, but get on the street.
Like synthetic stuff?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
what?
It's stuff that can be made synthetically, and then heroin and cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you got to be careful of those. Again, they're very,
Preferably
very
heroin.
Yeah, yes, both of them. In fact, unfortunately, you mentioned earlier, the community of Austin is in the top 10 in the nation of deaths.
Okay.
In this country, 150 people die a day from opioid and heroin and cocaine overdose.
Well, I can't let you slide with this one. You all did a training at Loretto Hospital we did a men's health and wellness event there.
Yes.
And thank you, Loretto Hospital, and all of you all for always being so accommodating. I'm talking to you too, Rap, over there, for being so accommodating. And this particular training that we did, you all provided two kits on opioid. You know how the two kits for
Yes.
for saving lives,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
But go ahead and tell us more about what we're talking about in relationship to this opioid use.
Yes, 150 people die a day in this country, more than the war in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, Austin leads one of the top 10 places in America with deaths, and it's just is a scourge, and we need to do more about it. So one of the things that we're doing is market research.
Okay.
And in medical research and market research, we'll be looking at ways to stem the tide and get people off of the addiction. And addiction is something that's another disease. And people have a disease. And that
So do you have
disease-
any programs over there specifically catered to that?
Yes, we do.
So are there any volunteer opportunities at the Loretta Hospital?
Not in that area because that's...
Period.
Yes, we have volunteers, absolutely, but in that area of
Nothing.
addiction, we don't.
Okay.
We don't, because
So-
it's confidentiality of the patient.
Of course,
sure.
but
other volunteer opportunities, yes.
okay.
Yes.
So if a person were interested in knowing more about the Loretta Hospital, and they really want to just be involved, or they really want to take part in some of the activities, or they really want to know more, how could they find out?
Yeah, through Camille Lilly, we have two. We have the Pastor Clerical Council.
Yes.
And
Which
we,
I'm part of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we also are having an advisory committee. We want businessmen and women and community leaders, those who are interested in furthering the cause of health. And not just healthcare, but health in our community
In
to
general.
improve, in general,
Yeah.
improve the health of the community.
So if folks are watching, and they are watching, and we really want to talk about, it said here, we want to talk about the task force, the heroin task force. There was a task force going on there, and we kind of did a lot of work there with the rep and LaShawn and some others,
yeah.
and Dr. Shaw from the Illinois Department of Public Health and others, and we were talking about the heroin, and we had a task force, and this task force was real powerful.
Yes.
Is that still working?
Yes, it is. LaShawn LaFord, one of the representatives, also is
Absolutely.
the key leader in that.
Absolutely.
Camille Lilly, our representative, had the wonderful opportunity to help me meet the mayor, Rob Emanuel, and he's talking about coming back to the Loretta Hospital and have a talk with safety net hospitals to deal with that issue, especially on his West Side Task Force.
Well, we want to thank, of course, we want to thank Mr. Miller and the Loretta Hospital and the rep out there for all the good stuff that you're doing at Loretta Hospital. I'm saying it's a different thing going on at Loretta. We want to thank you all for all the work that you've been doing. Thank you, Mr. Miller, for coming to Chicago for the spirit and catching the spirit at Loretta Hospital. I want to thank all of you all who made this transition for you so beneficial. We're going to keep praying for you,
Thank you.
and your team, that the work that you're doing over there will continue to grow. We want to say God bless you, good night, keep the faith, and if you're looking for information, log on to lorettahospital.org, get in touch with Camille Lilly, or get in touch with Mr. Miller. He normally gives his phone number out to everybody. Listen, God bless you, God keep you, good night, keep the faith, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see you soon. Listen, take care of yourself. You only got one self. God bless you, good night.